What's going on, everybody? My name is Nick Valley.
I'm Jonah Dockenai, and
This is
we're Red Rock Revolution!
Yo!
Woo! My gosh! I'm ZSonic getting in that Trito.
Oh man, that is a
ZSonic in the
reference.
house.
That is a reference. ZSonic here, bringing the Trito. If you guys don't know what Trito is, everybody knows what Ditto is. It was a big word in the 80s that apparently I thought I only still use. And when I met Zach, a lot of us would say Ditto, and then we would kind of stack it. So if a third person said Ditto, it would be a Trito. Or if a fourth person said it would be a Quadritto and Quintitto, and it just it spiraled out of control like everything in my life does. But it's one of the most beautiful. I'm glad you were able to bring that in. Welcome to the show, Zach.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
This show is just as chaotic as every day with us is. So I hope you're ready and prepared, and you've in your game
the
mode
chaos of
today.
Red Rock
I'm always ready for chaos, baby.
Yeah, when Jonah and I were discussing, guests, you were one of the first people that popped in our brain because we were like, who could match our level of excitement and randomness? And it's like Zach. It's just instantly ZSonic,
for sure.
Or as I like to call him, Z-Man, the Sandwich Man. Another inside. Zach. Can I just say this? I feel like you and I have so many inside references and jokes at this point. It's like ridiculous.
Yes.
Like we don't even think about them as inside jokes. Other people are so confused when we have a conversation in front of them.
We got inside jokes inside the jokes. Our inside jokes got inside jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Exactly. By the way, just so you guys are prepared, Zach is the master of riffing. Like, of anyone I've ever met in my entire life, you spitball in every conversation I've ever had with you, and it's perfection. It's like everything you say, you need to write that down. Jonah, I'm sure you agree.
No, I totally agree. I remember there was this online performance that we did, and I remember he was singing one of his songs and then forgot the whole second verse, so he freestyled something, and I thought it was still part of the song until after he was like, "Oh yeah, I just freestyled that."
He's a master, man. He's up there with the greats for me.
Same.
You're one of the best. Honestly, it's impressive, man. It's insane. So yeah.
Thank you.
Speaking of performing with you and having inside jokes, we've known you for a while. I've known you for a really long time, I feel like.
It's been a few years, I think now.
It's been a while. So I'm really excited to introduce our audience to you. So if you want to tell everybody a little bit about how we met, and then, a little bit about yourself and all that fun stuff. We could just start with how we met if you want to get into it.
It's funny. I was looking been organizing my Google Drive, so this is going to be answering your question, even though it seems totally random. But you said I was going to be random, so here it is. I was organizing my Google Drive, and I found this old screenshot I took from you, Nick, that was Mike Mangini quotes. And it's pretty funny. That's right.
Yeah. Oh my God. Jonah, did I ever tell you about that?
I don't think so.
Do you still have the document? You had started a document where you were just adding Mike Mangini quotes to it.
I started a document. I have it somewhere. It's in Google Docs or Word or something. Was it Google Doc? Something, right?
Yeah, I had it I took it as a screenshot, but I think you had a text file.
Oh yeah. So I probably have it because I never delete that stuff. I really should. My storage is always maxed out, and I'm always deleting random things. Things I shouldn't be deleting, and I'm like, shit, I shouldn't have deleted that. But that's just my life,
keep everything, baby. Right?
I would if my computer allowed me to.
Yeah. I feel you. I'm all about
self-producing musicians.
Yeah. I have to hire Zach. I'm gonna have to try to hire you just to clear up, organize my computer.
Ooh.
And
Dude, I've legit thought about doing some declutter coaching. So hit me
please. I will pay you an exorbitant amount fee for an hour private lesson on that.
Exorbitant is exactly what I charge, dude. How did you know? I didn't even give you my prices yet.
That is great. No, yeah, Jonah. So I had a quote of, we all learned, by the way, for our audience, I think I've said this before, we all learned music production, mixing from one of the greats, Mike Mangini. He's worked on so many things over the years, and he has I think if we think we're random, his level of randomness and is insane, and just the riffs that he goes off on. So I started this like book of quotes, and I was going to try to find, at one point I had the backdoor access to all of their replay videos, so I was going to try to go in there, get the videos of him saying this, and create a montage video, like a compilation video, and gift it to him for his birthday, which we still have to do one day. And I'll tell him about it if he comes on the show. Please, Mike. We're waiting. But definitely, yeah, no. I'm glad you still have. Please send that to me. Please.
Yeah, I'll send that.
I don't remember what it's called then.
I want to see this.
All right, cool.
Too.
Yeah.
But see, this is you fit right in on our show, because we will do that. We'll start an intro and go completely off topic and just go right back in 3 minutes later. So on that note, that's how we met, doing music career mastermind production class. If you want to elaborate a little bit more on that.
Yeah, and I joined the music production mastermind, and then you were one of the students there. Like, you were the first friends I met in this whole community, the music career mastermind community. You're like one of the OG homies. Yeah. And you're always just like, I loved you right off the bat. You're always like high energy. You're always positive, and you ask a lot of questions. And sometimes people might throw shade like, "Oh, Nick, the Nickquisition," they call you, ask a lot of questions. But man, that's what geniuses do.
You come up with that?
I might have come up with that. The Nickquisition. Yeah, I think I did come up with that.
Other people be throwing shade. You came up with that.
I did come up with that. But I love it.
Laugh? I use that all the time. Thank you for that's just one of your things. That's one of his like riffing things that he just does. I use that I describe myself that way all the time. Thank you for that.
Dude, I love it. Like, yeah, I was like, other people be throwing. Oh wait, that was me. I threw the shade. Whoops.
Perfect.
But it was love shade. It was like
after that we
like,
interned there together for a while.
Yeah. We got in the fold, and we just been
working
friends ever since then. Like, you gave me Creed homework, and I did it, and
I did that to Jonah too. The Creed
homework
is
necessary. You Creed homework. If you want to hang out with Nick, you got to do your Creed homework.
Yeah,
so
you have
anyone
to.
Who's, if you're a new listener,
Zach, you have a story about Creed, right? You told me years ago you saw them, right? Like multiple times or something, right?
Yeah, I actually saw them twice. So when I first heard My Own Prison, I was obsessed with it. I was like, it didn't leave my CD player for like weeks.
Great
and I
record.
saw them, and they were great. And then I saw them again a year later, and it was exactly the same. It was like a press play on the CD.
Yeah.
And so, which is cool. You might like that. Like, they played their CD perfectly. But after I saw them that second time, and they played the CD exactly the same again, I kind of fell off of them. That's when I fell off of Creed, until I met Nick, and then he put me back on him again. I was like, you know what? I forgot about Creed. They were actually pretty good.
And they're going on tour this year, and I'm seeing them this summer, which I'm really excited about.
Oh, that's gonna be so exciting.
Creed, living that Creed life. But yeah, man, like, that's just another one of those things. We could go on and on all day about all of our things that we've got. Like, we go far back, man. It's kind of crazy. No, it was me, you, Stevie Zainamon, who we had on the show a couple weeks ago. Robin, like that small, like that initial group of people. That's crazy, man.
We're all still friends too. It's dope. The music does that.
Because I think, we all vibe, and Jonah came a little bit later, but he fit right into like a glove, and it's just it's perfect. And wait, Jonah came in, and wait, what did Stevie say you said when you came in?
I'm here. Okay, when we had
when Stevie was on our show. Jody,
so Stevie was talking about how she met us, right? And pretty much talking about Mastermind, and it was like she met Nick first, and then like I came, and she's like Jonah just came in, and I was like, I'm here.
Oh my god, this is hilarious. All the descriptions, that's the one we came up with. But Jonah has so many things. Seriously, man, though, it's really true. We have all stayed friends for a while, and what's cool about you is I feel like you kind of hold this sense of not mystery, but like I don't know a lot about your and I feel like it's so rich, like your past. You'll just like give little tidbits over the years that I've met you, and I'll be like, whoa, that's random. Not that I'm surprised. Because you're always throwing out random riffs, but I would love like just like to go like deep, like tell me about like you just like growing up, how you became an artist, like just like your life before I met you, basically. Because I really don't know a lot. I know bits and pieces, and I'm not able to put the puzzle together because they're always like the different corners and stuff. So I'm gonna shut up now, and I want to hear you talk about this.
Yeah, man, it does go deep. It does go deep because I honestly don't remember a time where I wasn't deeply passionate about music. And like my earliest memories as a kid is like listening to my dad's record collection. When I was about 5 years old, my dad took me to a Paul Simon concert. It's one of my earliest memories. I think I was like 5 or 6. I might have to ask my dad, confirm the age. And I remember having a dance party with my dad. Or it's a dance competition, excuse me, dance battle. I was like, hey, Dad, let's see who's a better dancer. And we were like dancing. And then we asked, there was like these women around. And I went up and asked them, I was like, who do you think's a better dancer, me or my dad? And they obviously picked me because I was like the cute little kid.
Yeah.
But I like to think they picked me because I was legitimately the better dancer for sure. So that's kind of like, listening to music with my dad and dancing is like kind of the origin, like the original ZSonic thing started happening just from listening to a lot of music. Both my parents listen to a lot of different kinds of music. So I always love listening to a lot of different kind of music, always love records. I played a lot of, I started trying to play the violin in like kindergarten, first grade.
Really?
And
that's cool.
Yeah, I dabble with a lot of instruments. Like I tried the violin. I was actually reminiscing on this while going for a walk earlier today.
Wow.
The violin, the harmonica, the bass, piano, and then I discovered DJing, and I was like, oh, I can put all the instruments into this one. This thing can be all the instruments.
Yeah,
because a turntable
you are a master DJ, man. I have to say, you're really good at what you do. Like, it's
Thank
really
you,
impressive.
yeah.
So
Thank
that
you.
makes
I
a total
appreciate
sense now. Like your background, like I didn't know like you played all of these things. So it's like you kind of really
Yeah, a little
understand
bit.
when you're breaking things down. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I
How
was
old were
always
you when you got
rapping
into that?
too. So 5 to 7, 8, I was just dancing and rapping. I made a music video with my cousins when I was like 6 or 7, a little rap video. So
I need this in my
I was
life.
just- I was
Please
part of
send this to
rapping,
me in
and
a
I'm
Google Drive
performing.
folder.
What's that?
I said I need this
You-
in
you
my
wanna
life.
see this
Please
rap?
send this to me in a Google Drive
Yeah,
folder.
no, I want. I'm pretty sure my aunt would still have it. I need to get that from her for sure. That might be the next YouTube
Please do.
sensation video. I don't know.
That's great content, honestly. It really
Yeah.
is.
So I think so. The violin, I didn't stick with that very long. I didn't get very far with that. But that was like first grade. And then piano, I started taking a few lessons. Like I took lessons for maybe a year or two, and then that was when I was like 8 or 9 or 10, around there. And then one of my friends got super sick. Like he was in the hospital. He had this fever with my best friend in elementary school at the time, and I got real sad, and I stopped going to piano lessons. And it's
Oh God.
And then
Yeah,
probably a
no.
few years later, got picked up the bass. Yeah. And then,
Wow.
14, 15, started DJing. I just had this, it was from Sears at the time, that's a throwback. I don't think that exists anymore.
Oh wow.
But,
No, it doesn't. I remember when Sears
yeah.
existed, though. I remember.
Dude, back in the day, it was everything. Like you got I seen these old school, like way before my time, like early 1900s type stuff, like these old catalogs that Sears had that people literally ordered everything.
Sears
Suits,
catalogs, man.
refrigerators. The Sears
My dad
catalog was
worked
life
at
for
Sears
people.
when he was in high school.
It was, dude, Sears was a big deal, yeah. But
Yeah.
I caught the tail end of Sears when it was going down. But I had this stereo, and it was just like it was a stacked up stereo with a CD player, 2 tape players, radio, and it had a record player on the top, and it had
Yeah.
these buttons that you could switch between, like tape, CD, record. So I could
Yep.
play a CD, I could start recording on a tape, and I could hold down the CD and the tape button, and then press the record button to cut the record in and out. So I would put like
Cool.
my mom's Elvis records and
Oh.
stuff on there, and that's how I started getting into DJing. I would just like record myself messing with this sound. It was a Sound Design was the brand turntable. My grandma got it for me for Christmas one year, and so I
That's
started
pretty awesome, man.
getting into cutting up those records. Yeah, and then from there I kind of became obsessed with records and started collecting a lot of records.
And wait, you
started
said at
getting
that point,
into-
like what? You were like middle school, high school, like.
Yeah, like so about 8th grade when I started cutting on the Sound Design, and then in high
Okay.
school is when I started getting real obsessed with records and just
Making
like
beats on
buying a lot of
Sony.
records.
I remember that
Yeah,
line.
right. Yeah, I did actually. Yeah, that was about high school. Yep, Sony Acid 2. That's the first DAW that I had. After
That's
Windows
crazy.
Media Player.
Nice.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah.
That is
And I
like.
started making beats.
That's a
Yeah,
throwback.
that's throwback. That's throwback.
Wait, did
for
you actually
sure.
make a song about that before? Because
Yeah,
in
that's
the
in.
song
So I
you
released
said.
this. Yeah, it wasn't exactly about Stone, but I did have a line in the song. It was actually that song just came out a couple months ago, Funk Romance, which is the
Yeah.
song I was
Oh,
started
yeah.
making in that music production mastermind where we met.
Yeah, I've known that
So-
song forever. But how many times have I begged you to release that over the years, though? Like since I've known
Yeah,
you. Like it's.
Yeah. You wanted it. And honestly, like it's funny because I wasn't planning on doing anything with that song. Like the music production mastermind, the first week was like, oh, you had to have a song demo. And I had actually never written a song with chords and melody before. I had only done like chopping up samples.
Wow.
And so I had to,
Dude,
I
you
wrote,
would
so I
never
wait that
know.
verse and that chorus in a week.
You're-
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I feel like
appreciate
you're just
that.
one of those people. Some people have to work at this, and Joe and I had a conversation about how like talent isn't like talent translates to hard work. So like a lot of people have to work at it, and some people I think are just like they naturally have this like intuitive thing. And I think you're one of those people because like you're telling me the story about getting into DJ just like that, like with like that equipment from Sears and like just like writing a song with a chord and melody for the first time and that being the song. Like, dude, you're like
That's
I'm
crazy.
I've been convinced you're from another planet, and I'm currently looking into it, but it's insane, man.
The chord melody thing that did take work, but I do agree with you that I have a natural connection with music. And it's
Yeah.
also a natural curiosity, and I never doubted that I was gonna be great at this. I always just loved it. I always just like, yo,
None of us
I know I'm
do
gonna
either.
be great.
We all know it. So
like,
yeah.
just never doubted. So I just kept going. So like I have put in a lot of time and work. It's not always hard work because I love it, but like I was chopping up samples and making beats. So I rapped and I want to have beats, but I was like I didn't want to pay people for my beats, so I was like, I'm gonna start making beats, and I got really
Yeah.
good at chopping up samples, and I started doing electronic music and remixes for labels and releasing things on underground labels. Got really
Wow.
good at production,
That's
but I didn't know
cool.
anything
Yeah.
about chords or music theory or anything.
No, I have to say when
So-
we met, I was really intimidated by because when we came into music production mastermind, I really had just started recording for a couple months. Like I had like no production experience at all. I had a ton of writing experience, singing experience, performance experience, but like none like like producing, recording, mixing, any like in that. So no, when I first saw your productions, I was like, yo, this guy's like a fucking professional. Like I was very intimidated being in a class with you but I learned so much from you. Like just the little tricks, like the filter sweep thing that you did, like on one of the songs of like, there's just different things you've done over the years that I've picked up where I'm like, that is a genius move. I'm going to steal that. But like, it all goes back to you. You really are
Nice.
great at that. And it's one of your like, I think it's one of your just like things. I think, like you said, you just connected to it, I think, in a way.
Yeah, and you know what? The curiosity, the questions. Like I was saying, you asked a lot of questions. I always ask questions. Like along my journey, if I met someone else that was better than me I always want to
Yeah.
put people around me that are better than me so that I
Yeah.
can ask them questions.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I
True.
always put producers around me that are better. And like I had one of my dear friends, his name's Bush. He's like, he took me under his wing. Like I sucked at production. And I was
Yeah.
cool with that. That's another thing. I don't care about sucking at things. Like it's fine. We'll get better at it.
I got to learn that from you.
Yeah.
I
So
feel
like
like
yeah, so you could talk about talent, but it's also it's also just kind of
Yeah.
like the way I approach life, and with
True.
curiosity, asking
Yeah.
questions, not worrying
No, I
about
get it.
sucking.
I'm
Yeah.
totally with. What were you saying, Jonah?
Oh, I was gonna say, or about that curiosity thing. I feel like that's a very important thing, especially like with like high level people here in the industry, because when you have that curiosity, it doesn't feel like work, and I feel like that's why you're such a good producer and you have such good songs and you're so good at rapping. Because you have that curiosity and
Yeah.
you don't think about it that you're putting the time in, but like all that time you spent around music because you were being curious, it just stacked up.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Stack up that curiosity. I love that. It's well put. Yeah,
Oh
and
my
hunger
God,
too. I'm
man.
hungry. I'm hungry. I'm super hungry all the time. Like I remember the first time I had it was a techno track I had released. The first time I had a track released like on a label, and I actually made it in GarageBand.
Wow.
Nice.
I mastered.
Yeah, I
so
was going to
mastered
ask,
GarageBand.
how did you transition from, Windows to Logic?
Yeah, that's a good question, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good question. Yeah, so I did a little. I don't know if anybody ever heard of MTV Music Generator. That was on a PlayStation game, and then they had Music Generator 2 on PlayStation 2. MTV Music Generator was dope because you could put a CD in there and sample anything off of any CD.
Wow.
And it was
I didn't know this.
Yeah, and there was some people back in the day made beats. Like some people put out albums off MTV Music Generator because you could sample anything in there.
That's awesome.
So so I got really into sampling there and started making some dope stuff. And I realized, I was trying to make dope beats a lot, and I was like, the key to a dope beat is a dope sample. You don't need to be that good at making beats. If you take a hot sample, you might not even need to do that much to it, and then it might be super dope. You got to have good sounds. That's the thing. You got to have good sounds if you want to make good music.
True.
So you need to find good sounds. So I got good at finding good sounds and keen to ear. Like I really developed my ears by listening to things really critically and on like really detailed level.
Yeah.
Like experimenting. But yeah, I think I was on Windows and I just got sick of using Windows, and everyone was saying like, "Oh, I use Logic. I record everything in Logic." So I was like, "I guess I'll get Logic."
Yeah.
I'll get Mac. I tried a lot of things. I've done Ableton, Fruity Loops, FL Studio, Cakewalk. I've tried a lot of things. I'll make noise. If it makes noise, I'll work with it. It's all good.
Except Pro Tools.
I've never used Pro Tools. I don't have a problem with it. I don't
Dude,
really
it's
have
wild. Pro Tools is wild, man. I could speak from my experiences. Like, everyone will say it too that's been in Pro Tools and has used other DAWs will be like, yeah, it's... I don't want to say it's complicated for no reason, but it's difficult to learn. Once you know how to do it, it's like second nature, but it's definitely difficult to learn. But yeah, you know what? I challenge you. I challenge you to learn how to use Pro Tools.
All right. I love challenges. I don't know. That's
I
the
know
thing
you
I
do.
love.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I love challenges. I love. Yeah. I'm into it. Let's do it.
I just realized before when you took what Jonah was saying and you said stacking the what was it?
Stacking
the curiosity.
Stacking the curiosity. He's the king of the catchphrase, right? I feel like we can
I agree.
We can brand him with that. It's definitely. Rev Rock
catchphrase
Revolution,
king.
Nick Valley and Jonah Dock and I have dubbed you as the catchphrase king.
All right. When's my coronation? What kind of sandwich do I get?
It's your choice, man. It's your choice.
Whatever sandwich you want.
Nice.
You're the king. It's any sandwich you want, man.
Oh man. That torta is the king of the sandwich. Like if you want to
yeah.
go like I love tortas.
Yeah, no,
But
I
you know
remember
what?
that. That's
It's hard because I also love like a meatball grinder, like a really good like authentic
Ooh.
Italian sandwich is good too.
Well,
I'm
Italian
so hungry
speaking
now.
my language,
I know.
my
I
culture.
just ate lunch right before this, and now
I'm also
starving
good at making
again.
everybody hungry. My hunger
I
spread.
ate just before this too, and I'm starving. That's what Z will do, man. He'll put you in the mood, he'll get you hungry. He'll make us feel all the things, So it's perfect.
Party.
It's perfect, man. Always a party. But yeah, no. So that period in time, I know at one point you were talking about. I don't know if this is true exactly, but I think I kind of picked it up. I don't know if it's clubs or raves or something in between. Something between what you were saying, like learning how to produce, and when I met you, like, was there what was that period of your life?
Yeah. So there was some kind of drama. So when I was 16, I kind of like got in this big fight with my mom, and I left my house, and I was kind of like sleeping on people's couches and stuff for the summer, and like going to a bunch of raves. So when I was like 15, 16, I started going to raves, and it was really cool because I was always an outcast. I felt like I didn't belong anywhere. That's something that I've struggled with my whole life. Is like I didn't feel like I belonged around the people that I was around.
Man.
So I think a lot of creative people probably have felt that way.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, because I think I read somewhere that creative people just see the world differently.
Yeah,
and sometimes when you see the world differently, other people don't understand how you're seeing things.
It's strange because I feel like even when I don't know if you agree with this, maybe I'm just out there, but like even when I'm in a group of people or like in something that like I really enjoy, or like not like here, like I feel but like I could be in a group of people and like I'll just be like, yeah, I'm part of this, but I still feel like slightly outside of this
still
for
feel
some
different.
reason. Like they're all like they still have a tighter circle within the circle. You know what I mean? It's just a strange thing. So I think maybe we all can relate to that. in a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is why I get along
Yeah.
with you guys and people like us the best, because I think
Yeah.
it's the first time, I think, for all of us where we feel like, oh, damn, like, you know, like, even in my most favorite hobbies and things I'm most passionate about, the people there I haven't even, like, I never feel like I'm an outsider when I'm with you guys. So, you know, I
love
think
that,
that's
yeah.
important to have that.
Yeah, very
your life.
important. I had a producer friend of mine. He said, if you want to be successful, you need to find people who are like you. Surround yourself with people who are like you. And at the time, I was like, how am I going to find people who are like me? That sounds crazy. I don't even really, what am I like? I don't even know what I am. But but like, you guys are like me, like this community of, I feel like you guys are like me. You know, you love music, passionately connected. You like to ask questions, get better. That's like, I don't really like talent is like whatever. I don't care about talent. The only thing I care about is, are you growing?
Yeah,
How fast are you growing, and what are you doing to grow more? You actually have to like use these ideas and see how other people are using them. So I started just branching out, listen to all kinds of music, everything I could listen to, all different genres. And it's really dope because like something that happened, and I want to give you gratitude, and Jonah and Nick, both you guys, like seeing you guys had doing more rock stuff, because I always loved rock, but I didn't think I could do it because I was rapping and making beats, and I just didn't think I could do it, you know, rock with my voice. I didn't think I could make rock sounding sounds on a track.
Sure,
and seeing you guys, working with you guys in the production, seeing you guys, how you guys do things, it was really inspiring. And so like I've since made some rock tracks and get more into just doing different genres, different styles. And like I'm excited. I'm at this point right now where I'm just like have all this creativity bubbling, and like I'm just gonna experimenting with different sounds and with my voice.
Oh, that's so
making
good.
stuff.
I feel that feeling.
Yeah,
it's great. I love those pockets, right? Those pockets of time where you're like in that like hyper creative mode it's a special thing, you know. And it's so cool to see you in it, because you're already one of those people to me automatically. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot. I mean, it does.
Definitely. Yeah. You have like such a fascinating journey. Like I said, I'm glad like I'm getting like more of like what's the word I'm looking for? Like an inside, like a deep dive like into that, because I've always known the waters ran deep with you, but I was never able to put the puzzle pieces together, like I said before. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like, and I think everybody's back. That's the cool thing about MCM, by the way. And I think you can all agree is everybody's different backgrounds and like different musical backgrounds and life backgrounds. And I think it just all comes together, but we all blend together at the same time. It's a really fascinating thing I haven't really seen before. So shout out, promo to them.
I totally agree.
Because to that note, like someone with like Jonah and I have very similar like backgrounds, I feel like. And like people like us, like our backgrounds, like where else would we get to meet someone with like your background, or like Stevie's background, or like, you know, Hosanna, who we had on the show. Like all these different people have lived such wildly different lives. Where would we get to all meet and connect and share and grow together? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a really great point. As you're saying that, I think that is like I'm even more illuminated and validated in how this community is helping me be in this zone of creativity because of that diversity. And you know, people from all over the world, people from all different age groups, people from all different styles and backgrounds coming together to just like make music and like take it seriously too. I think that's another thing I think that was missing. Like find someone, when my friend said find someone that's like you, I think part of that was find someone who takes music as seriously as you do.
Oh my God, yes, dude. Dude, there's too many people who, and there's nothing wrong with a hobby, but like, that's not the kind of my mindset and not what I want to surround myself in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have friends who do music as a hobby and we play together or whatever. Like we hang out and we listen to music or we
it's
play
a beautiful
music.
hobby.
But it's like this is not their thing. You know what I mean?
Like we all want this as our
It's a different
careers,
thing than when I'm with you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Like I think
it's
everyone
just-
needs to have
it's a
some
totally
kind of
different
access to
drive.
music. Yeah, like it's cool. Like, you know, everyone needs to go for a walk every once in a while for some exercise, but not everyone needs to be an Olympic gold medalist. So like, I think everyone needs access to music in some way, in some level.
I agree.
We need to play it a little bit, listen to it a little bit, but it is a special kind of hunger that you have when you're like, no, this is my
Jonah and I had a
everything. This is
conversation
my life.
about that. Yeah. We had a conversation on the show, Jonah, I'm sure you remember too, but we were talking about how there's really isn't anybody who you will ever meet who will say, "Oh, I don't like music." It'll just be a matter of what kind of music they like. Or I have yet to meet, right? I mean, Jonah and I talked about this on the show once. It's never a matter of, "Oh, I don't like music." Like, who do you know in your life?
Right? It's
I think
everywhere.
I met one
like,
person one time in my life, and they stick out in my mind so much, and I'm like, "You're a fucking weirdo." But
like I think I would contest it. I was like, I have a hard time believing that you don't like music at all, because it's like, well, then how do you watch movies? Or like, music is everywhere.
do anything.
You hate your whole life. Like, if you don't like music, then you might hate your whole life, because it's you hear it at the store, you hear it in people's car, you hear it on movies. Like,
music's
I don't know.
everywhere.
I love it.
it's everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Music is life. Like, not to quote Ted Lasso, "Football is life," but music is life.
Football, music is also death, but it's mostly life. That's
Yes.
I'll tell you.
Perfect. That is perfect. Well, dude, I'm really glad that, like, and this, we've obviously, I feel you can feel it too. We're entering the portion where our conversations are, going. I'm ready, so ready. But I just want to say to the audience real quick, like, and Jonah, I'm sure you agree, like, you are one of the most authentic people I've met in this bit. Everybody, there's so many people that are quote unquote authentic in this business, or real, or like, but it's like, I have never not one, everybody has those moments, has those days where it's like, oh, it's like, I'm trying to get through, and it's like, you can tell that with some, and you're just like, I have never once, ever, left a conversation with you, or a moment with you, or a class, or whatever it is, and been like, yeah, there was something off about Z, or like, no, I don't know. I feel like he's hiding. Like, I don't know. You just have like this thing about you. It's like you're never like. It never feels like you're trying ever, Jonah. And that's very rare to find. I don't know about you, Jonah, but he's one of the few people I can actually genuinely say that about.
I feel that every time I'm around you, I'm like, my spirit's like uplifted. It's always like, you have this really positive energy around you, and your music. It's one of the things I love about your music. It is, like, nowadays there's not a lot of music that like gets people hyped. It's super positive energy, but your music's all about having a good time. Yeah, living the party life.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is true.
Gotta feel the vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I love it. I made a conscious decision to take responsibility for how I show up in the world. And, if I found that you can't always lift yourself up if you're feeling down. That can be hard, but you can always
True.
lift other people up. And that
very
can help
true.
help lift you up. We
That's
lift each
true.
other up. If we all focused on lifting each other up, then we'd all be uplifted, right? So
This is true.
The world would be a much better place if everyone had your mentality.
If everybody was Zach, man, this would be such a great world. Honestly.
as long as
Honestly,
some of
man.
them were girls, I don't want them all to be me. That would be. I need some diversity.
Zach, I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more.
I love that.
That is perfect. That is so great. Oh my god. I was not expecting that comment. Jonah, that's something you expect me to say. See? I feel like good. I'm rubbing off on you a little bit. No, but for real, man, like, honestly, just top 10 favorite people of all time. You're on the list,
Thank you.
man. So
I appreciate that.
no. It's so cool, and I know everybody that watches our show is just automatically gonna love you too. I'm gonna say something real quick, and this is gonna be random. Jonah knows who I'm talking about. This person knows who they are. There's this very special viewer of our show, who watches this show religiously every week, comments on the show, messages us about it. And everybody who we bring on the show, she becomes a giant fan of. So shout out to you. You know who you are. Hi. And you're gonna have a new super fan in her.
Woo!
So yes,
Well, she sounds
super
amazing.
exciting.
I don't know her, but I love it.
Definitely, she's great. So I'm just wanted to make sure to do a shout out because it's about time. It's been like a couple months now where she's been watching this show.
Yeah,
and
every single
commenting.
week.
But every
That's
week,
amazing.
man, which is super cool.
I
But
love
yeah,
it.
no,
yeah.
I think, in that you just have this like, I feel like that's every room you go into. This is going to become a love fest for us, the episode, but I feel like that's every room you go into. Like, everybody wants to, at least me, like, I always want to have you there because it's like, yeah, that's just going to be an automatic good time. which you know, a lot of people have to brand themselves, and like you said, you made a conscious effort of how you put yourself out in the world. But it never feels like branding. Like it's just you, and you have a brand built in automatically, which is really hard. And I'm very envious of. And I just want to say this: every guest we have on this show, Joan, I'm sure you can agree too, is so wildly different. Like their personality, their music, just like how they carry themselves, their brand image. But in that is like you are that, and everybody has in that has like their really strong points, like the things about them that like I think everybody has that in life. Like they have like their highest top quality, and I think one of your greatest is just like your lack of trying but always high effort. You know what I mean? And that's a very hard thing to pull off, and you do it effortlessly. So.
Well, thank
Congrats, man. I have a lot to learn from you in that regard. I'm sure we all do.
Yeah, we need to just hang out and get some sandwiches and see what happens.
Yes,
please. Definitely. You said there's like a sandwich place or something near you, right? Or like...
I know where to get some sandwiches. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I live in Jefferson City right now, right in Missouri, but in Kansas City, which is where I lived for a lot of my life, yeah, there's some spots. That's just a couple hours away.
Yeah. No, yeah, so definitely. So you've been over there like your whole life, or have you traveled around, or like?
Yeah, I was born in Colorado Springs, and my mom moved me to Missouri when I was like a year and a half old, and so I've pretty much lived in Missouri ever since then. I have traveled, but I've actually never been out of the United States. I've been to a lot of the states.
Neither have I, so I get it.
So yeah, I want to go to Mexico.
Have you left the United States?
Not in a long time. My family used to travel a lot when Xavier and I were younger. But then once I started getting into like 4th, 5th grade, and starting to get into sports a lot, we stopped traveling. Yeah, we traveled.
Where'd you go?
We went to one of my mom's friends' weddings in India. We did a trip to Belize, Costa Rica.
Cool. Ooh, Belize.
Nice. I think I think there's one other place, but I'm forgetting. Yeah, I want to travel more outside.
Jonah.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. I want music to take me places.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the best, man. But we got to remember to sleep.
That's
touring is gruesome, man. Yeah, no, it's crazy. But
I learned that
we're all gonna have to do a giant like trip. You were in New York, and I didn't get to see you, right? I was really mad about that.
Yeah, me? Yeah, I was in New York last May. Yeah, but just for like, I was like in and out. It was like a day and a half.
Please tell me next time you're here.
Definitely got to. If I don't, then I'll give you permission to do something, whatever you want. Punch me in the gut,
kidnap you,
in the teeth,
kidnap you, keep you in my basement.
Yeah.
I will do it.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
Yeah. Are you in New York City or New York State? Somewhere else? What city?
Not upstate, not New York City, not one of the bureaus. It's Long Island. It's its own like separate.
Oh, Long Island. Okay, cool.
Thing. It's a vibe. You've probably never been out, but it's its own thing.
Yeah.
It's like
I think I've been there when I was a kid.
The suburbs had a baby. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very
city
it's
bird.
A strange place. The city.
Oh, I like strange.
That is what I'm talking about right there. The catchphrase thing is just like, how. Okay, if you had to guess, how many catchphrases you think you've come up with in your life?
Dude, it's a weird thing because sometimes I'll just say stuff and won't realize it's a catchphrase, and then someone else will be like, "Dude, you just said that." So maybe thousands that I don't even know about. Like I got thousands of illegitimate catchphrases out there.
I don't doubt it. Yeah.
I'm good. That's the only illegitimate things you have out there. That might not be so true for me. Well, anyways. That was an interesting side topic. Yeah, no. Sorry about that. I couldn't help it. You said it, and then it just came out of my mouth, and I just said it, and it happened. It was a thing. So you were saying you go on a walk. Is that like something like you do? Like,
yeah, I've been doing it. I started this year like going on a walk every day. Yeah, for health, fitness.
That's
I
smart.
Go for I like to do a fasted movement. So before I eat in the morning, I go for a walk, do a little dance party. I also dance every day. Little dance party, go for a walk.
Nice.
And
dude, that's
we got
great.
a dog, so
no, I got it. That's
dog.
actually very good for you. I don't know if you know like the brain, like the. I don't know if you know the brain.
What's the brain?
That's the thing in everybody's head.
I don't know if
Oh.
you know like the like science of that, but like when you create motion every couple of hours in your body, it actually has a positive effect on your mindset and how you work throughout the day. So it's good like every like hour or so to like get up for like 5 minutes and like create movement.
Yeah,
You know who I think you would
definitely.
love? I bet you maybe you do. I don't know if you know about, but I feel like you'd be someone who would be into like the Tony Robbins like world. I don't know if you
Yeah,
know a
I
lot
mean,
about
you
him.
know, I haven't looked at a lot of Tony Robbins specific, but I know that a lot of the people that I'm into have gotten stuff from Tony Robbins. So
Yeah, no, because
yeah,
that's
and
one
I
of the things I learned from him is that like you gotta get up and jump up and create motion every once in a while because you will get stagnant and your mind will start to lull with that too.
saying so
So
important for creativity. You got to have the movement snacks. That's what I call them. You just do a little movement. Yeah,
movement
I do a lot of
There's
snacks,
movement
another
stuff.
catchphrase. Yeah.
dude, we need to create just like with Mike Mangini. We need a document of your quotes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I need to
doc
hold
it
on
up.
to those forever. But the problem
Yeah.
with that is my computer's going to run out of storage very quickly because it already has too much space. And it's just going to be like so long, man. It's going to have to be a shared file on Google Docs or
You're gonna get the
something. So I
whole
don't.
dedicated Google Drive account just for my quotes.
Yes, I'm going to have to pay for the upgraded storage and I'll still be out. Well, on that note, I think that's a full circle moment. This has been one of my favorite episodes, honestly. Just like the
Yeah.
hype, and this went by really quickly. I have to say, like the
This
show
has
goes
been
by
one of the
quickly
quickest
as it does,
episodes.
but this feels like it's been 10 minutes. This is crazy. I don't know
Yeah.
about you, but that was
Hyper
a whole lot of fun. That was a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
definitely
I got-
loved it.
So after this episode, I'm gonna have to spam you with a bunch of Creed. But until then, my name is Nick Valley.
My name is Jonah Dokanai. With us we have
This is-
ZSonic.
Yes,
We're
Rev Rock Revolution.
Revolution!